In previous videos, we had discussed things that are going on over at Warner Discovery, the David Zaslav bloodbath. It's still continuing. It's might have leveled off a bit. It's gotten a little quiet, but there's still things going on behind the scenes corporately. People are leaving the company or getting fired. Deals are being made. The Nexstar CW deal, which is only going to cost liability for Nexstar, that's coming close to an end. That's coming close to being signed on the dotted line. What will the CW be like? Hard to say at this point. Arrowverse, definitely going to be dead. It's going to be probably a new, like some people saying, Superverse, which is basically going to be based around Superman and Lois. A lot more shows are getting canceled. A lot more projects are getting canceled. A major change at certain network affiliates to this channel. We've seen changes that are coming to CNN. We hope. Because that network is practically dead. Their viewership is, let's put it this way, it's similar to the CW. A 24-hour news network. Could you believe that? Could you really believe that? And then two other networks, TBS and TNT, we are seeing a massive change away from scripted shows. And even some of the non-scripted shows are being canceled. And cancellations across the board are still happening. We've heard Snowpiercer has been canceled. The Last OG, several other shows have been canceled. There was a reality show, dating show, that's been canceled automatically. We've heard another show called Chad, the possibilities that they were going to cancel it for season 3. But we've heard recently that season 2 is not even going to air. The producers are looking for a new home for Chad for season 2. Season 2 has already been produced. Within days of it, it's been canceled. Now, the major question to this show, to this particular video, and we said this before, we see eyes on this particular program possibly going to be canceled. And we're talking about American Dad, a show that's been around for, it's going on 17 years. It's supposed to be going to an 18th and 19th season. They've canceled already several shows that already were slated for newer seasons. I mean, like I said, Chad was completed for season 2, and they're not going to go forward with it. I'll pop a little bit of this for you from Deadline. The run of TBS series Chad has been cut short. The complete second season of The Coming Age, created by Saturday Night Live alum Nazim Pedrad as a teen boy, Chad Amani, will not run on the network as previously announced. The show, whose first season was well received by critics and ranked as 2021's new scripted show, don't think so, in the latest TBS casualty of the Warner Media Discovery merger. It joins Damon Wayans' front show Kill the Orange Bear, which got chopped a week before it began production, and the reality series The Big D, which was scrapped weeks ahead of its premiere. The decisions come as Warner Brothers Discovery's CEO David Zaslav and his team are examining Warner Media assets with the linear T-Nets, which TNT, TBS, under particular scrutiny. At TBS sibling TNT, a decision was recently made that the linear channel's last remaining scripted show series, Snowpiercer, will end up with its upcoming 4th season as the network is getting out of the scripted business. The T-Nets, as the portfolio of Discovery's Kathleen Finch, with the channel's top programming executives under the previous regime. GM Brett Weiss, who was the big champion of Chad, and the head of unscripted Corey Henson, recently exiting. As we continue to assess the content and implement a new strategy for our network, we can now share that season 2 of Chad will not air on TBS. A spokesman for the network said in a statement to Deadline, "We're provocatively exploring various options to find the right home for it. We celebrate and thank Nassim Pedrad, the passionate creator, executive producer, and star of the series, for sharing a bold, unexpected coming-of-age story with heart and humor. We also thank executive producer Oli Ups, co-runner Max Serling, and the entire cast of Chad for their upgoing partnership, and wish everyone continued success. As you can see, this is... Oh, by the way, before we go any further, could someone tell me why does Chad almost look like Strangers with Candy from Comedy Central? Almost has a plot line like that. Just had to throw that out there. Just had to really throw that out there for you. But the other half of this is people saying, "Oh, this is a critically acclaimed show." Yeah, it had its fans, but they weren't showing up at the network. And the same thing was happening with American Dad. It had its viewers, but not the numbers where it used to have on American Dad. On the average, both of these shows ranked about 500,000 viewers on the average. 500,000. That's not a lot. Considering that CBS and TNT have been a big highlight end for programming for many years. The network itself, CBS started out itself running Braves baseball back in the day, if you were a Braves fan. You also had classic sitcom stuff like Gilligan's Island and many others. TNT ran movies constantly during the day, during the afternoon on there, and scripted shows. And we're not talking newer, older scripted shows. And then, of course, the wrestling, the other sports, Babylon 5, and The Crusade, both aired on the TNT network. And they had numbers. Even though Babylon 5 was ruined in that last season, I have the opinion of that nature that Babylon 5 could have been better in the last season, but I think TNT crushed the budgets on them and they couldn't go any further with that show. But when you look at the numbers and everything like that and you say, well, this show is a great show. The critics loved that situation. Did the fans really like it? You hear it on comments line. Yeah, I did like Chad. It wasn't a big rating show. The highest that Chad went to was about 700,000 viewers. It didn't even reach 1 million in season 1. So what does that tell you? And we've said this before. In past, networks will cancel shows of this nature. We saw this from the CW recently. The Tom Swift series, that got shit canned in 5 episodes. Are they going to finish off the season? Probably, because they have nothing else to replace it. The series is already completed, so you might as well run out the episodes. In past, they wouldn't even run out the episodes. They just literally replace it with repeats. That's the way it used to be, and that's the way it should be returned. And that's the way it should be returned to. And to the particular viewer that commented saying like, well, you don't have the views yourself. Well, try doing a YouTube channel yourself. See how fast you raise viewers and subscribers with the topics we go through. YouTube don't like some of us out there. And for a channel that should not have corporate entities like NBC and CBS and Paramount and HBO Max, they're putting those ahead of us. It's the same thing what the Chinese is doing with TikTok. They're using the algorithm to put things in forward. And that's why TikTok's now looking at a lawsuit for the blackout challenge. I'm waiting for the lawsuits on YouTube. Someone eventually down there with money or with the will sue YouTube for what they're doing. I believe it. People will say, well, they're their own company. Yeah, they're their own company. But they can't get things right. We had a channel recently, and that's a video coming up, that was copyright struck. But the copyright struck was faked because the company that supposedly did it didn't do it. See, the thing about it is, copyright strikes, copyright claims, many of this that comes from YouTube are just thrown in there. And for those of us who are US bound as far as our shows, there are laws and regulations that basically gives us fair use. And those laws have been pushed aside. That's not fair use. I just hit a copyright claim for 30 seconds just recently from Sony. 30 seconds. Do you understand? 30 seconds. But yet, other shows are allowed to go on. And this is why you have situations like TBS and TNT and CW that are failing. They're failing for this reason, because they allowed the activism. They allow the made for the modern era, the hate speech. They're spewing hate speech. Opinions. People have opinions. Stop making shows that they say, well, we're diverse. If you have a show that says diverse or made for the modern era, run from it. Because it's not. Remember Harry, Guardian, Spice? They said, oh, we have a diverse writings room. Writing room was mostly women. Where were the men? Where were the minorities? All women. Go figure. See, calling something diverse because you're using one particular minority doesn't mean diverse. Go watch The Expanse. That's diverse right there. You have a good cast right there. A very diverse cast right there. That is being diverse. What you've done with Star Trek and Doctor Who and the 4400 and the Tom Swift and many other shows that you put on there are not diverse. They are just propaganda. And this is why some of these companies like Warner Discovery are seeing this for the first time. Will they continue to do this? They'll probably do it a couple more times. But now that they've seen financially situations, now they have to start to change their spin. They're going to have to sit there and say, well, maybe we need to stop doing this and fund shows that actually work. So, will American Dad be canceled? It's a good possibility. Good possibility. But as a recommendation, and I hope that Warner listens to this, and I hope someone does mention it in their company, switch it over to Adult Swim. They need the programming anyway. It's expensive. Anime is expensive these days. Animation is expensive these days for that company. Moving over a show that basically could see a new light, more of a viewership, worked for Family Guy, worked for Futurama, worked for many others. Comment below, subscribe, like, share. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.
Oh, God, I don't think I can face this. I don't want to be around people. You know what? It is what it is.
Roger, you just went through the 5 stages of grief.
But my species has 6 stages.
Oh! Was that the 6th stage?
Nope.